welcome back to more Let's Play Dragon Warrior Monsters. Last time, we took on the Gate of Wisdom, where we faced off against an almighty sky dragon, who offered what would normally be a fairly challenging puzzle, but it's actually fairly simple, which I showed. Otherwise, we worked on breeding the Armorpian for a future Queen's request, which we successfully did after catching, I believe it was an Armorpede and a Skull Rider. And now, here we find ourselves at the arena with the next challenge looming over our head. Now there is an issue before we progress. We have a breeding proposition that we can still do here with an Eider. I'm not really too certain I want to even bother using that, but it might be worth our while. Otherwise, 2, just to check. Yeah, we have 2 breeding propositions still open to us. One with Tedo's Eider, and another with May's Rayburn. Now, frankly, I guess let's take a look at what we have, because we have a whole bunch of different monsters that are kind of just sitting around. Again, I'm trying to keep Lava and our Iceman for future endeavors. Now, yeah, we just don't really have much that would be worth breeding. Now, if we wanted a very, very good support monster, I honestly could recommend breeding Funk, who has the Panic Dance, Hustle, and Life Dance, with May's Rayburn. It'll make a phenomenal support monster, and honestly, I might just go for it, because I really don't have any plans with the Funky Bird. I also don't have any plans with breeding anything with May's Rayburn. So, I've been thinking about this, and I think it is one of our better avenues. I don't know if I will use it, to be honest, but it could still be fairly useful. So I'm just gonna say yes, and not look back. I think it's a great decision. I have no idea what kind of egg it'll be. Can I record it in the journal? Absolutely, May. Now, also, too, something else I did want to bring up is that I think I'm finally not sick. Hooray. It has taken several weeks. In fact, I think the last time I recorded, I came down with a fever and realized I had the flu, and then developed bronchitis. It wasn't fun. I hope it'll be a strong monster. I'll send the egg to the farm. Thank you, May. So yeah, I have not been able to record for several weeks and holidays. And that's not been very fun. Still, I am feeling much better, and though I still have the little remnants of cough, things are going quite well. Now, Tedo, let me be honest, I really don't have much to breed with you. So honestly, let's go for something goofy. Maybe like our lamp? Has a whole bunch of skills. So combining it with a bug, it's not going to be great, but sure. I have no idea what kind of egg it will be. But can I record the results in the journal? Absolutely, buddy. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really think about this one, nor do I really care. So I figure it'll make something. I have no idea what. I did not check. I didn't even think it through. I hope a strong monster will be born. I'll send the egg to the farm. And well, Tedo, if nothing else, it'll at least have some good skills. So I mean, that's nice. Now, otherwise, on the agenda, the arena. I would like to try to take on B-Class. I mentioned going and farming, and getting a whole bunch of EXP and levels, and ideally making our skills a little stronger. But I'm just gonna wing it.
Are you okay with registering in B class?
Absolutely. Let's give it a shot. I don't know if it'll go over well.
Ladies and gents, welcome to the arena. A new challenger is here today. Ladies and gents, please welcome Terry. Now we begin the first match.
Oh boy. A lot of hammermen.
Let's rumble.
Well, it's nothing we haven't seen before, and I'm not terribly worried. So, honestly, I'm going to put King and Rain on charge and keep Toto on cautious. And seeing as King is already leading strong with a very big scorching, we might just come out of this completely unscathed. Decent, decent. And yeah, look at that. The whole first fight, one go.
For the first match, the victory goes to the challenger. Now we begin the second match.
Against, well, I don't know what any of that is.
Let's rumble.
Let's see what we're facing. An Ag Devil, a Wind Merge, and a Tree Boy. Okay. I suppose we'll see what happens. Some decent damage to start off. You have Ice Bolt, which luckily won't do too much, thankfully. But we're off to a pretty good start here. Wind Merge is already knocked out, not bad. To be honest, I might have been a lot more worried for this than I should have been. I think we're doing just fine. I mean, realistically, King is kind of just carrying with all of his damage. Rain has really good resistances and some decent damage, and I mean, Toto is doing fine.
For the second match, the victory again goes to the challenger. Now we begin the third match. Here's the tired guy from the restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Where am I? What? The arena? Where's my bed? Oh well, I need a change of pace. So yeah, that's an interesting thing, is that the bards can be both male and female, so it's kind of up in the air what gender they are typically. Like the random ones you find, you at least get confirmation that the one in the restaurant is a guy, and the breeding one, the breeding one who helps you with eggs and stuff is female. But past that, it's anyone's guess. And frankly, that mad dragon can do a lot of damage. So I'm gonna hit fight and see what happens. Yeah, even Toto's defending. That should go to show you what we're up against. Pretty good damage, all things considered. Now, the thing I'm scared about is that mad dragon can start just raging. Yeah. Now, luckily, he hit himself and knocked himself out. We got extremely lucky. So, this fight's in the bag. But if you're slower than Mad Dragon, you don't get any damage out, and then he just suddenly starts massacring you, that can spell some serious trouble. So we got genuinely very lucky.
Congratulations! We have a new winner! Give a round of applause for Master Terry.
All right.
Well done. You survived B class. The king opened the room of happiness and temptation for you. A traveler's gate with stronger monsters awaits you.
Oh, yes, it does. Oh, baby. Well, that's a weight off our chest. I'm feeling pretty good. Now, I believe, if memory serves correctly, let's go check the bazaar, because I believe something new will be here. I don't think, yeah, he's not any different, but there's this guy, who I don't remember if he was here before. Item shop, can I help you? Yeah, look at that. We can now buy sirloins at will. Now they are 1,000 gold. However, being able to buy sirloins is one of the most helpful upgrades in the entire game. It's one of the reasons I kinda regret doing some of the Queen's Request stuff before getting this, but trust me, having this is going to help. You can also buy a shiny harp and I believe, every single elemental staff in the game. So, this is a big upgrade. Otherwise, as they said, we have 2 new gates available, which means the arena fellas, or gal and guy, don't really know, but the 2 people behind the arena will tell us about them. So, I figure we should head on over and hear what we're up against. Now, the other thing, too, that I really want to focus on is getting more tiny medals to unlock the Metal Man's Gate. I've talked about it. It's important. I really want to do it. It's just kind of got away from us. So, you know. Anyways, hey there.
Would you like to hear about the Gate of Happiness?
Absolutely.
There are Onionos, Gophicatas, Pixies, Gascons, Dead Knights, Stubbirds, and Spiky Boys living there. Gophicatas use beat. Get 'em before they get you. The guardian there is a Yamaris.
I believe it's Yamaris. It might be Jamaris. Pronunciation's kind of up in the air. I'm sure it is just, Jamaris, and I'm just being extra to be extra because it seems like a fancy name that would be pronounced like that. But hey, we'll fight them all the same.
Watch out for its quad hits, which... oh boy.
Yeah, those quad hits do hurt.
Want to know about the monsters behind the Gate of Temptation?
Absolutely.
There are Spiky Boys, King Cobras, Momonjas, Slime Knights, Stagbug, Misty Wing, and Dark Eyes living there. King Cobras use a poisonous attack. Pulsy Air of Dark Eye will paralyze all. You should take a monster with Numb on. The Guardian there is a servant. It always shows up with Centaur and Evil Armor.
That is a very important fight. Basically, that fight is a 3-on-3 boss fight. However, notably, and I'm very specifically pointing this out now, that specific servant can be recruited. And let me tell you, this is one of the best opportunities in the game to save yourself a lot, and I mean a lot, of headache. So make sure you have stocked up on sirloin, you bring them with you try to get a save before that fight, and get that gosh darn servant. Trust me. It is one of the most important monsters for what I plan on doing just because of what it's going to help us do. Seriously, it is that good and that important. Maybe not good in terms of stats and what it does, but its breeding options are phenomenal. Let me tell you firsthand. That's why I've kind of specifically gone out of my way to make this much emphasis on it, okay? So just trust me on this one. Please. Like, seriously, it's useful. Now, with all of that out of the way, it now becomes a game of figuring out what we want to do next. Another big thing, too, and I figure I should probably check, is the library. We've done a bunch of reading, and I feel we probably have quite a few monsters. So let's take a look.
How many monsters have you had as your pals? Huh? You made 94 of them your pals. You have lots of monsters. You're a good master.
And that means we're 6 monsters away from opening yet another gate. That is darn good. So let me tell you, we're making darn good progress. Now, I guess we should probably check at what monsters we actually got from breeding. We know about Whitbird. That one should be fairly standard. But the Eider and Mad Plant, I have no idea, to be completely honest. So, sure, let's take a look. Oops, not breed. Hatch. Spiky Boy. Oh. Well, they can't all be winners. Still, it is a monster we didn't have before. That's good. Now, otherwise, looking at what we have, I think I want to go out of my way to try to go get some tiny metals and earn some levels. Just because I really, really want to get that Metal Man gate. And you'll see and understand why once we actually get to it and go through it. But it just takes a lot of luck and patience. And that's why I'm a little sad we haven't been able to do it yet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the well. I'm going to do a bunch of farming and fighting, maybe a run or two through, just to see if I can get some bards, maybe find some mini metals, ideally. I say mini metals, tiny metals. They're mini metals later in the series. And ideally, we'll get what we need and get the gate. Now, that's what I'm hoping for.
But we're gonna see what happens.
So I'm going to hop on in after showing you guys everyone's stats. I don't know if anyone will gain a level, but it's very possible. I guess let me check. Okay, maybe it's not as possible as I thought, but well, King might gain a level. You know. Still, I'm going to go in, do the usual thing. If I change my strategy, I'll let you know. Things will ideally continue after I get some tiny metals, and ideally we'll do that gate. I'm hoping. So, fingers crossed, I'll see you in a bit. Well, while out and about trying to find tiny metals, I managed to recruit a dragon. I sold a bunch of our ribs, bought some sirloins, and figured, well, let's try to get some later monsters that I will eventually want to use. Specifically, this dragon is going to be useful in making another metal drac eventually. I don't think it's any good. Yeah, it's terrible. But hey, it has heal, call help, and cover. So, sure, fine enough. Yeah, otherwise, I've probably been at this for almost an hour, and I've yet to find a single tiny metal. I've been extremely, extremely unlucky. Still, I'm continuing the search, but I wanted to mention that that's where I found the dragon that we will have, just because it'd be a little weird if, you know, we got home and then suddenly have a dragon and we didn't before. So, yeah, no. Anyways, back to farming I go. Well, while doing grinding, Toto managed to gain a level and learned Vivify. Now, frankly, I'm going to get rid of Suck All for this just because it's and Vivify's very useful. Now, since the time I've last checked in on you, we did manage to get one tiny metal, meaning I believe we are 2 away from getting the gate. It's been about an hour and a half, give or take. So, overall, I think it's going well. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep on looking for tiny metals. It's not very exciting, but hey, it's a necessary evil and part of the game. So, well, you know the drill at this point. Into the hole, I'll see you later. Well, after about 2 hours of continued searching, other than the dragon, 1 bard, and 1 tiny metal, I've not come up with too much. So, I figure, if nothing else, it was good progress. And hey, you can't shake a stick at that. So, we'll drop off our 1 tiny metal. Boom, we only need 2 more. I figure with that dropped off, maybe we'll go check out the newest gates. Now, they are longer, and they're stronger. These things are no joke. I want to say the gate of... Oh, what was it? Well, I guess we'll ask when we get there. But I want to say they're getting up into the 18s and 20s, and now they're down here. So, you best be ready. Hey there.
You're in the room of happiness and temptation. Go right to the gate of temptation, left the gate of happiness.
Well, as tempting as temptation is, I prefer happiness in my life. Save the game. Make sure I have a warp wing. I certainly do. Oh yeah, I also got a quest book from beating someone, so that's cool. But it's neither here nor there. Let's jump on in and see what we're dealing with. Yeah, right into the pit of a volcano. These areas are fairly dangerous. And let me tell you, that lava hurts. And they are apt to spawn you in the middle of it. If you don't have step guard at this point in the game, these dungeons are, I'm not going to say impossible, but man, are they difficult. As you see, we have 18 total floors, 17 of which are random, which is brutal. On the mysticals on the total other side. Well, that's fine. It'll give us plenty of time to pick up more goodies, ideally fight some monsters, see what we're working with here. Go for Kada! Oh, these little guys. They look innocent enough. They're annoying beyond belief because they like to spam cast beat, which we are fairly familiar with. Now, luckily, they don't always cast it, and most of our monsters have pretty decent resistance to it. But just be forewarned, these little buggers are annoying. So, sometimes they get up and just want to join you. So, I guess, for now, we'll say yes. I really don't have a use for this thing, to be completely honest. It has awful stats, barring HP, weirdly enough. It's of the bug family. It knows beat, magic back, and call help. It's not great. It's probably going to be one of my go-to monsters for just sending it away if we happen to fill up. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't like seeing them. They're not fun to fight. However, they do give very good EXP. And here we have Oniono, a fairly normal monster. It's not particularly scary. I don't think it has any unique offspring either, just based on what I remember. It's a fairly normal plant, all things considered. And they're kind of ugly. So, recruit it if you want, I guess. But it's nothing I ever worry about. Otherwise, we are doing pretty good on all sorts of goodies, and we have plenty of room for more, so I'm not too worried. Ooh, nice little free heal, incoming a flashing light. I figure with it just being the one, I usually don't put a warning for just the one, but it is still nice to warn you. Take a little save game, just in case. After all, you never know. Go to Toto, use map magic. Oh, and speaking of, while we're here, we did gain a few levels. Nothing insane, but as you can see, King is very well-rounded. Rain also gained a couple levels, I think just one, so not a couple, but you get the idea. Toto, 255 intelligence. I believe that is the maximum in the game. So no longer will Toto gain any intelligence on level. It's a little sad, but as you can see, our spells and such are doing quite well. Ooh, that's another thing too, is King's Vivify became Revive, which I believe always works, though it is 20 MP. So it's quite good. It's just expensive. So, a bit of a trade-off. Still, a guaranteed revive is pretty good. Lava, or is it magma? I never remember. There is a difference, I just forget which is which. Because I know one's like, it's out in the open air, and the other one is found in caves or underground. I never remember which it is. But hey, I'm not claiming I do know which it is. So I suppose it's not the end of the world. Still, the sooner we can get out of these fiery caves, the better. Toto, if you get here, give us some map magic. Very good. Now, I will say, I want to believe, based on what we've seen so far, that the EXP gain here is better than the arena gate. I think on the later floors. It might be more equivalent. That's why I said I want to believe that it's better. But it might just be equal. Still, I still quite like the arena gate for general farming. It just is one of my go-tos. Again, it has such good monsters, like Medusa Eye in particular. So it always is a standout for me. Now, one thing I will need to start doing, especially now that we have access to sirloins, is I want to go back and get some Gulpals. Because the Gulpal, combined with that dragon we got earlier, will be a perfect mate to create more Andreals. And as you might know, Andreal plus any material, I guess it's any material plus Andreal, it creates a metal track. That is going to be very important in what I plan on doing coming up here. It also ties in with why I wanted the Metal Man Gate so badly, but seeing as tiny metals are being rather scarce, I haven't been able to exact that plan, so it's a little difficult. Still, once we get there and to that point in the game, my plan will be quite clear. At least, probably. For anyone who's played the game, you might know exactly why I want that gate in particular, and why I want Metal Tracks in particular. To be fair, Metal Track does just make a lot of really good monsters. So wanting Metal Track is kind of just a redundant statement. Of course you want it. Still, it will be something I do have to go out of my way to get, which is fine by me. They are well worth the time. Ooh, Mimic? No, I love water. Alright. I won't use it, but sure. To be honest, in this case, oh. Well, sure. I'm a wizard and a master. I'm gonna send you to the end if you win. Oh, don't we know it. Blizzardy, King Cobra, and an evil wand. Nothing we've struggled with before. Also, nothing new, too. So I believe we've seen all these monsters, which, hey, I'm A-okay with. I figure the more resources we have to fight that boss, the better. Pretty easy win. Thank you, old-timer. Yeah, more fiery stuff. I'm just gonna say lava. I don't think that's right. But I guess, too, there's no evidence that we are underground or above ground. It could just as well be an open ceiling versus a cave. So, I guess technically in this case, it's kind of a up in the air decision that it could be either lava or magma. I mean, I feel kind of strongly based on the layout that it's supposed to be like a giant cave system underground, but like I said, you can make the argument for being open air. After all, we've seen that, like, the water ones, those seem to be out in the open. Same with, like, the mountains and stuff. Also, what am I doing? Get some map magic going. Oh, goodness. Alright, well. We'll take you the middle path. And it was toward the bottom. Alright, fair enough. Ooh, a warp wing. To be honest, I do wanna check our HP. Okay, we're actually doing pretty good. The only thing I'm worried about is that this boss hurts. I mean, seriously hurts. We heard about quad hits, and let me warn ya, that is a nasty, nasty attack. So, we may not actually beat this boss, to be completely honest. In fact, I'm gonna put, Rain back on Mixed, just because having defense and sleep all and stop spell, and honestly, I don't know if Tailwind actually will help, but I think the rest will. I hope the rest will. And we're gonna hope. In the worst case, we do have a staff to use and all sorts of heals with parry. So let's hope it's enough. But there he is. There is Jamarus, or Yamarus. Again, not really certain how you say it, but it's probably Jamarus. So, hey, bud.
Comrade, now is the time for us to unite and open the gate to the new age. Yes, a world for monsters, of monsters, and by monsters.
Oh, fair enough.
I'll promise you, comrade, a world where we can eat sirloin steaks every day. Therefore,
Go on.
I don't know why, but I feel something behind me. Comrade,
Excuse me for facing my back to you. Oh. Well, hey there, pal. This is going to be a tough fight. Frankly, I'm going to use the Wind Staff and Volt Staff we have on turns that I don't need to be doing anything else. I don't know if it'll do a lot of damage. Case in point. But still, it was worth a shot. Oh, there's quad hits. So yeah, this is 4 random attacks that, if you're unlucky, can hit the same person 4 times. I think everyone we have has enough HP to tank it, but I don't know that for certain, and I really don't want to find out. Try the Bolt Staff. Also has no effect. So yeah, none of the magic that we possess will do anything. Defense didn't work, and Jammer summoned a strong wind, meaning we really just have not much we can do. Now, notably, this boss cannot be recruited, so don't try. Don't waste your sirloin, even though he did talk about it. To be fair, he seems rather set in his ways, so, you know. Luckily, sleep does work, which is useful. Now, to be honest with how things are going, I'm going to set Toto to charge, just because I really don't need him just defending, and I think the extra damage is going to be useful. Though, quad hits does hurt. Now, ideally, if King takes all the hits, it should be fine. Again, it's kinda up in the air. I'm going for an all-out offensive here, hoping that it pays off, but yeah, if he starts spamming quad hits, we're gonna need to be a little more defensive. Just fine. Yeah, so in this case, I think we'll have King on cautious to heal, Rain on mixed, and Toto on cautious. Just because there's no point in getting someone killed. Also, very good turn. That worked out perfectly. Set them back to charge. Keep on dealing damage. Good attempt with the sleep. More quad hits. Again, it is a scary move. Now, luckily, as you saw, it does check accuracy each time it's used. I think it also checks criticals, too, so you gotta be careful with it. It can be devastating. He's got him to sleep. Perfect. Woke up, that's fine. I mean, hey, sleep's been useful since the beginning, and man, it is still good now. There will come a day that sleep just really does literally nothing, but while we can use it, gosh darn it, I'm gonna use it. So far, so good. King's laying on that damage. Hammers those quad hits again. King's getting low. He should survive. Let's have King charge, Rain go mixed, and Toto be cautious. I think we'll still be okay. Again, this is a risk. Alright, everyone's getting low, but it's all good. Feel more. It's not a lot, but it should be fine. Worst case, I can world do and world leave. Let's just keep fighting and see what happens. No sleep, kind of shame. Not the end of the world, though. Hey, we'll just beat the boss instead. That works wonderfully for me. Gain 4,334 EXP for our troubles. Very nice. King gains a level, hitting level 29. He gains 9 HP, 4 MP, 10 attack, 4 defense, 4 agility, 9 intelligence. Very nice.
I demand 1 sirloin steak a day.
How are you doing? Let's go home.
You know, Wadabo, I think that's a good idea. Politics were never my thing.
Oh, Terry, you beat Jomerus. Once you find a monster, feed them meat to make them tame.
Oh, King.
Terry at ease. It's a good idea to talk to people. You're dismissed. Busy.
And again, not a terrible idea from the king. Taming monsters is a good idea. But you gotta kind of make sure it's worth your while to actually tame the monster. Or make sure they're tameable in the first place. That's usually pretty important. Now, to be fair, 2 sirloins and 2 ribs. In between episodes, I might go out of my way to try to catch a gulple. I think it would pay off if I did so. Let me see, was it this room? Yes, joy and wisdom. Very good. Still, we did a fair bit today. Took on the arena, got another mini medal, got, well, point is, we did a lot, and it felt good. Beat a new gate. I mean, hey, it's all coming together. Soon enough, we'll be at S rank before you know it. Let me tell you, that's gonna be good. So, next time we play Dragon Warrior Monsters, perhaps we'll make an Andreal and a Metal Drac and do something with that. Perhaps we'll explore the latest gate that's been opened. Maybe, just maybe, we'll even find some tiny metals and recruit enough friends to open up 2 new gates. Who knows? The possibilities are, well, they're finite, but it feels like they're endless. As always, I'm Brett. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.